Hey everyone, it's Ivan, kpatch.com, out here on this brisk morning, about -13, and gonna do a little shade tree range science on some cold weather and reliability. So what is this about? A little science project. So kind of about reliability and the condition of these guns. So if you think back to grade school science, talking about things being hot and cold. When things are hot, molecules move around a lot faster. When they're cold, they slow down some. And so that basically plays out in volume. Think about your car tires. Go to sleep, wake up one morning, it's really cold, get in your car first thing, start it up, and your low tire pressure indicator lights are on. It's not that there's like less air than there was yesterday in your tires, but because all of those molecules are moving slower, the volume is lower in your tire. And until that air heats up, it will stay low. So same holds true for guns. When you fire a round, the volume of gas coming back when it's really cold is less than when it's really hot out. And again, it's like -13. So I have these, and also something that gets really important is lubrication as well as cleanliness. These are all different states of cleanliness and lubrication. And I have some different lubricants here. We'll try some different stuff. But yeah, basically going to shoot through some of these different guns, show you how clean they are to begin with, and see if they make it through the rounds. And then maybe throw cans on them, but see what happens. We'll start with the 1-300 Blackout I brought out. This is my Honey Badger SD by Q. Not going to take the can off it because it lives on it. I'm also not going to take it apart because my hands are cold and I don't want to have to put it back together. But that's kind of what we're looking at as far as cleanliness on this. Like right there, it doesn't want to go back in the battery. There we go. So end up getting a mag and shooting through a few rounds. Right here I have some Minuteman munitions. I think it's 220 grain subs. Oof. So much brake clean this gun. Now we're in battery. Never mind that. Oh, worked. Definitely a little sluggish loading that first round. Again, not clean. A little bit of lube on the bolt, but yeah. Next one up. Next up is this 11.5 Sons of Liberty Gunworks. I've shot it a lot, and yeah, not very clean or very lubricated. There's bolt carrier group for this little guy, but I'll throw that in there and yeah, give it a go. See if we can see inside there. Yeah, well, can't see it very well, but spoiler, it's not very clean inside the gun either. So give it a go. All the ammo I'm shooting from now on, like 3 rounds in each mag of like Winchester white box, just 223 55 grain. Oof. Forward assist. Projecting, I don't know, about 3:30, probably closer to 4 o'clock, but once it got chambered, it ran. Next up is 16-inch. Again, Sons of Liberty Gunworks. Same lower, different upper, and different bolt carrier group. Although, again, I've shot this pretty much exclusively suppressed. Not a lot of cleaning or a lot of lubrication. As you can see, definitely not very wet and really dirty. I don't know if we can see inside the, yeah, whatever. The upper is also pretty dirty. So I'll go ahead and put this thing back together and see how it does. wet. Come on. Oof. Huh. That's all it needed. Just needed to chamber around. Next up is this 11.5. I think it's their Mark II by Griffin Armament. Again, I've shot it pretty much just exclusively suppressed. As a consequence, it is very dirty and pretty dry. So, yeah. We'll see what happens with this. Again, shooting all the time suppressed, and now shooting unsuppressed without cleaning. Also, as a quick aside, that last Sun's gun, that was ejecting out that way at about, I don't know, about 230. Don't need that scope cap. All right, let's do this. Almost. Or not. Ha, did it. Easy day. There we go. Got caught dirty. And it didn't go into battery. Don't even know. Next up, this old school thing. It is a fake dissipator. It's actually a mid-length by Palmetto State Armory, that upper, and then the sweet polymer 80 lower with the Geissele Tricon Trigger in there, and Surefire OBC, optimized bolt carry group. Only reason this gun is still well functional is because I got that trigger in there, and it's such a pain to get triggers in those polymer lowers, so it will forever stay in there. So I'm like, well, might as well shoot it. As you can see, actually cleaned this thing not very long ago, and by clean I mean just threw in the ultrasonic because I was putting this gun back together, and pretty clean. Definitely not very like wet as far as lubrication goes, but we'll see how it does. Wonderful polymer lowers. Looks like we're in battery. What do you think? Bad round? Apparently. And that is ejecting out that way at like 12:30. Weird. Don't know about that first round. Next up is my 5.56 Sugarweasel. Again, this one actually got cleaned not very long ago. Again, by cleaned, I mean I just threw the bolt carrier in ultrasonic. It doesn't really look like it was cleaned. Still pretty dirty, definitely not very wet. So we'll see what we get. Not quite in battery. No forward assist. Sometimes that works. Probably in battery now. Not in battery. There's a round in there. And it did not, lock back on the empty mag. Mind you, again, only shoot the suppressed, and it is tuned. So that happened. What did we learn today? I have no idea. Now, honestly, this was, again, something that actually came up about a year ago when I skied out. Again, negative temperatures, did some shooting, and a otherwise really reliable gun for me. My Sons of Liberty Gunworks, I think I had the 11.5 inch on it with a can. And yeah, I ended up with like a malfunction when I first started. And then after that, it was running fine. And it just got me thinking about shooting in cold weather. And while this maybe isn't a consideration for some people, other people it might be, and maybe you end up going somewhere not by your choice and it gets cold. And will guns work in said weather? One of the biggest things, honestly, is them being clean. As you can see, the bolt carriers that were really dirty just didn't want to go into battery, but generally once everything was in battery, like it would shoot. This one right here, adjustable gas block, can get you in trouble depending. And when you get things down to like the ragged edge of reliability, you can lose reliability depending on environmentals, like I saw today. And granted, I have this tuned because I always shoot it suppressed, but if that can needs to come off and it's cold, maybe it's not really reliable anymore. So again, just different things to think about. And while I do have some like different lubricants out here, what's the metric? Like all these guns are basically different, and once they get lubed, then I don't know. I think it'd be just kind of hard to have like a good metric to mess around with them. So I don't know. I'll probably get some guns cleaned up and I don't know, maybe mess with them later. But like my last, I have an idea. So we have this Spec 76, Sons of Liberty Gunworks, FP10 by Shooter's Choice. I want to say this is by, I don't know, by Shooter's Choice apparently. And Extreme Gun Oil by Lucas. So what's a metric? I don't know, but something I'm going to try. All these things have basically been sitting out here. Essentially, I sat in my car and warmed up, and I'm like, I guess I'm willing to do a little more filming in negative 13 temperatures. So those three guns with really dirty bolts, because all they've been shot is suppressed. And I don't think any of them wanted to go into battery initially. So I'm basically going to lube the bolt carrier with respectively one of these, and yeah, we'll shoot through them, see what we get. This right here is the 11.5 we use this Spec 76 from Sons of Liberty Gunworks. Again, this is a Sons of Liberty Gunworks gun. Man, someone should really clean that. So dirty, but we'll give it a go. Kind of gooey coming out right now. Again, this has been sitting out here in -13 temperatures. A little bit in there, a little bit around there, and yeah, throw that in and see what we get. Give it 2 for good luck. Third one will be when it loads, hopefully. Ooh. Still pretty stiff. Went in the battery. Shot. Basically right around 3-ish. Last one went forward of 3 a little bit. All right, moving on. And for the 16-inch Sons of Liberty Gunworks, we'll go ahead and use this stuff right here. FP10. Lubricant Elite. Again, so dirty. And these things have just been sitting out here, coming back down to ambient. About -13. And now for this stuff on 16-inch Sons gun. Huh. That's kind of funny. Wow, I guess it does finally come out. I thought it was actually frozen for a minute. It's kind of goopy. Wow. This will be interesting. Oof. Gross. It's all like syrupy. Chambered. Ejecting right about 1 o'clock out of the sky right now. All right. And for this, for the Griffin 11.5, gonna use this Lucas. See how it does on this incredibly dirty bolt carrier group. Whole thing's just super filthy. There is a lot of carbon on this. Come on, Lucas, or not. Jeez. About that. And I'm squeezing pretty hard. So hard that it won't come out with just one hand. This is kind of ridiculous. Not really sure if this is going to help or hinder right now. Whew. Don't know about this one. Nope. Should be better now. Should be. Yeah. Not really sure if that Lucas oil helped on this one or not. Granted, keep in mind, like super dirty to begin with. All right, now I'm done. And it's really cold still. What did that tell us about these? Probably nothing definitively, but like sample size of 1, probably gonna lean on this, if nothing else, in colder months. That one actually came out decently well. These other 2, this one being kind of in the middle, this one arguably the worst as far as consistency coming out. Like, both hands squeezed this thing as hard as I could to get that to come out, which pretty wild. And then again, I don't think it really helped that gun, especially going into battery with that first round. Probably just more sticky than anything. Probably one of the biggest factors out of all of this though is honestly a clean gun to begin with, and then the appropriate for temperature lubricant, I would imagine. But yeah, probably gonna go clean these guns. By clean them, I mean just throw the bulk carriers and solvent tank. But yeah, that's what I got out here today. Hopefully this has been helpful. But as always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.